Oh, there you are. Okay, well, you're just in the way, really. Oh, good heavens.
Oh, sweet apologize.
Oh, there's the cheeseburger. Oh, good. I thought you had ketchup.
Oh my god.
Am I dreaming? Is this the symptom? Oh my god.
That's one of yours.
T for two and two for tea. Me for you and you for me. Is this? Oh, look at that.
Two ships to the wind.
Wait, I have 90 buddies. A moment. Oh, now look what I've done. I got it in. Everybody needs to know that myself.
Everybody rejoice.
Oh, good heavens. I got it in on this joyous Saturday morning.
Filled in with some air,
okay,
not
so
as low of pressure, but Camille. Let me talk, Carol.
Translate that for us. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Well, if you would let me talk.
Okay.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing, entertaining, delightful, great disciple content.
Tell me where the freak's at.
Hold up. Hey.
Teresa Schultz is suing Helen Babcock in the amount of $975. She claims Ms. Babcock left a realistic doll on her porch that traumatized her daughter. The defendant felt she was making a kind gesture and shouldn't have to pay the plaintiff anything.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding. All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Ms. Schultz, you had a situation with Ms. Babcock where she gave you a doll, and now you're having issues with that gift, and you want her to pay $975 because the doll traumatized your daughter. Do I have it right?
About 4 months ago, she discovered this doll on her porch, and of course we wondered where the doll came from, or why it was left. And there was no note. It was scary. It was creepy. Brown hair, brown eyes, and Callie was very aware that the doll looked just like her, so she got scared. She wanted nothing to do with it.
And as it turned out, you left the doll.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Why did you do that?
When I was raising my daughters, I made all these dolls by hand.
Oh.
So when my daughters grew up and moved out, I didn't know what to do with the dolls.
And so how did you happen to know about Kaylee?
Because I teach remedial reading.
Okay.
And so I pretty much know
You're
all
still
the
teaching,
students.
or are
I
you
still
volunteering
do.
now?
I'm a volunteer. I'm a
But you're a
retired
volunteer
teacher.
teacher. Well, why not just go to the school and say, Kaylee, there's a doll just for you.
I thought it would be sweet to have a surprise gift. And that's the way, when I grew up, we had a small village. We'd just drop it off on their doorstep. We didn't necessarily tell who it was.
Oh, I see. Kind of like if someone's in line at getting coffee, you pay for the other person.
Right, right. Or
I'm
the
just going
same
to pass
as
it on. I'm going to pay it forward. So
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And so you didn't know, and
Naturally,
you
we
were
were
freaked out about
concerned.
it.
Yes.
Okay.
My husband and I were wondering if somebody was stalking our family, or apparently stalking
Isn't
our
it
daughter.
amazing how cynical we've become as a society?
Well,
that we automatically go to the dark side.
Well, please note that we live in an upscale, gated community, particularly to avoid things like this.
Things like what? People being nice?
Weird behavior. I mean, naturally, we would be a little bit concerned that the doll resembled Kaylee so much.
So you got this doll, and you were concerned, and that was the end of it?
Well, she found the doll on the doorstep, mind you.
Right.
So Kaylee came across this doll, and she herself, 10 years old, noticed the uncanny
No,
resemblance.
I get that. So,
Okay.
and that was it? That was the extent of the issue?
She had an adverse reaction.
All right.
And
So out of all the kids that go to the school, you just happened to pick her?
No, Your Honor, I was distributing them to the different students.
Oh, you didn't just leave a doll for Kaylee?
I left it for different students, and I was planning on making more until this whole thing blew up out of proportion.
What whole thing?
The fact that it was misinterpreted and people started talking like they were being stalked and then called the police in.
What people are we talking about?
there was another mother in the community that her daughter received a doll too.
Two moms
Well,
said,
Yes.
I
we
got
were
a doll, you got a doll.
We were concerned because, like I said, the features were so similar to our children. So,
So the other mom's daughter,
yes.
around the same age?
Yes, Heather.
And you left a doll with her?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you didn't say
No,
who you
no, no.
were? And that mom said, what the heck is going on? Is that kind of what happened?
We were both kind of thinking this was a little creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the authorities to basically get to the bottom of this.
Well,
series of-
11 different families had these mysterious dolls show up on their doorstep. Is that what? And you're basically being a Santa.
Right, I thought it was going to be like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, or the Tooth Fairy. So
Right.
I was trying to do
Well-intentioned, Your
something
Honor,
nice.
but-
Well-intentioned, sure.
Yes.
The mommy network are like, I got a doll.
Well,
Is that what kind of happened?
needless to say, sometimes the road to hell is paved in good intentions.
That's true.
Coming up on a
I have to know that some of the parents were like, oh, this is probably a sweet gesture. No?
Well, that's yet to be revealed. I believe that here, I'm going to
Because
go.
if you know that there were 11 different girls that got dolls,
Yes,
and you are in this upscale, did you say it was gated as well?
it is.
All right. So was there any conversation amongst the other moms in terms of the children getting these dolls?
After the investigation was found out and that we did indeed find out that it was Mrs. Babcock that was.
So up until that point, the other families, they just took the dolls. They didn't think anything of it.
There were only two of us that had communicated and.
So out of 11 dolls, two moms are like, we got to get to the bottom of this.
This was in a 3-day period, Your Honor.
In a 3-day period, 11 families, the 9 other families, they just took the dolls in the spirit of which it was given.
Later, to come to find out, the other mothers indeed thought it was eerie and it was creepy.
The other parents were also concerned.
Not initially, we didn't know about it.
Okay.
Natalie and I didn't have any idea. She and I were just out doing our tea, tennis and tea.
And you didn't bring in the dolls, did you?
Well,
Your Honor, I have a copy right here, a picture
Okay,
of the
I'll
doll.
take a
and while she's getting that, Your Honor, if I could please say that one of the parents came to me. She came and thanked me with her little girl. She gave her daughter the doll, and her daughter liked it, even though it was old-fashioned and different.
This is the doll, Ms. Schultz, that Kaylee
Yes,
got.
yes.
Let's take a look at that on the plasma.
If you could
So
see.
you say that this is creepy. What's creepy about it?
And what's creepy is the reaction of my daughter when she received the doll, and now she's in therapy.
Because I'm
Attached
thinking
also-
I'm going to look at something like Chucky. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a keepsake. This looks like something that you would pass along.
Regardless, the reaction of my daughter.
Okay, you are just completely not even in the space that I'm in, so I understand what you're saying.
I understand it was well intended.
So the
but
$975 is for what?
That's for therapy sessions. Kaylee has gone to 15 therapy sessions for the price of $65 with Dr.
And why is she going to therapy sessions?
Because she's exhibiting almost like post-traumatic stress disorder. She's having panic attacks.
Because she got this doll?
That was the date that this happened, that the change happened. She started sleeping in her bed. She wouldn't sleep alone. She's not been like the normal behaved, normal child that we had, not well adjusted at all.
Now
she
that
won't
you
play with
know
her.
that the intention was what it was,
Well,
I can't imagine that you wouldn't at least say, well, maybe there's something else going on because Miss Babcock was just trying to be nice.
I can understand that. Now that we know that it's Mrs. Babcock, I would just like her to partially pay for the therapy, Your Honor. My husband and my daughter used to play. This was one of their things, like when he'd have time, when he'd get off his shift, off of work, they would play with the dolls. And that was something that he loved bonding with her. And she just is so averse to it now, she just won't play. She doesn't want to have daddy time anymore and play with the dolls. And he tries to convince her.
That's not about this doll.
Well, that was the date that things changed.
Something else is going on.
I think it was possibly the reaction of the parents, because the child came in, if she had been really scared, she wouldn't have touched it. She would have run in screaming, "Mommy, Mommy, there's something on the porch." But she didn't. She got the doll and carried it in and said, Mommy, this doll looks like me.
There's a different connotation that she had when she was carrying that doll in.
Wow.
It was not skip to my Lou, this doll looks like me, no.
Wow.
She was scared.
Wow.
And perhaps it was our projection onto our child because we were concerned
Stop.
too.
Say it again.
Perhaps it was our projection onto our child because we were scared, we
Say
were
it again.
concerned.
Say it again.
Perhaps it was our projection onto our child because we were scared. We did not know who it was, and there was a series of them distributed through our community. We were concerned.
It's very challenging being a parent to not put them in situations, our children, based on our fears, our hang-ups, our anxieties. Someone who's afraid of heights, whenever they see their child next to something, they're like, oh, I don't want anything to happen to you. What happens? The child starts reacting. The child was fine. Mom picks up a doll left. Oh, honey, this was probably something from a neighbor. Let's embrace it. But the mom said, what the heck? Now the doll, there's something wrong because mommy is saying, there's something wrong. And we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. Is there a case of emotional distress? Because that's why we're here. You're saying that Ms. Babcock should pay you for the emotional distress that you're seeing with Kaylee.
Partly.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, I disagree. Because part of the emotional distress tort is that there has to be some intent, and the behavior is reckless. There is no way I'm going to co-sign on then punishing her for doing something that was so good, positive, affirming. Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
Mr. McCullough, what is happening that causes you to be here today?
Your Honor, I'm here because my ex-girlfriend, Mandy here, broke my grandparents' sake set, which has been in my family for years, and I'm seeking $2,500 in damages.
All right, thank you. And defendant, Ms. Zion, what is your position? Did you, in fact, break Mr. McCullough, the plaintiff's sake set?
Your Honor, I did break it, but I did it all out of self-defense.
Self-defense. Well, what happened that you say that you did this in self-defense?
He went off like a madman inside the house that day. He came after me. He reached his hand back, and in self-defense,
She's lying. I've never done it.
Like I was saying.
Hold your fire, Mr. McCullough. You'll have your chance.
I am talking.
All right, let me just go back. You're saying that it was self-defense. Mr. McCullough, how is it that you happened to be with Ms. Zion? How did this relationship begin?
First of all, Your Honor, Mandy and I have been together for 4 years. Her father kicked her out when she was 17 years old. During that time in our relationship, Mandy has been a free-spirited woman, and she's cheated on me with both men and women during our relationship.
All right, well, you've been living with her for how long?
I've been living with her for 4 years, but...
You've been living with her for 4 years. Well, you knew she was a free-spirited woman, right? That's what you just testified.
Well, Your Honor, this started changing when she started losing weight over the last couple of years.
All right, so when she first moved in, how much did she weigh?
She was about 190 pounds, 200, 225,
All right, and then she started losing weight, and what happened?
When she started losing weight, Your Honor, she started going out more, started flirting with more men, started flirting with women. When I confronted her about it, she said to me, I'm not her mother, instead of denying the fact that she didn't cheat.
Who did you accuse her of cheating with?
She cheated with one of her ex-boyfriends, Your Honor. I found out from a friend of mine that's seen her with the ex-boyfriend.
The problem behind all this is he can't handle me losing all the weight that I lost. And now that I'm confident about myself, he has a problem with that.
What are you saying, that he's feeling a bit threatened because now you feel more confident about yourself?
Yeah, as soon as I started losing all the weight, he started having a problem with what I wore or who I hung out with.
I've never had a problem with what you wore.
Are you serious?
Never.
Your Honor, one time I got dressed to go out, and he said, "What are you wearing that for? Were you trying to get people to look at you?"
When she wearing things that make her look like a hoochie mama, yes, of course.
But it's okay for you to look at.
Coming up on We the People with Gloria Allred.
What does a hoochie mama look like? What do you mean wearing things that make her look like a hoochie mama? What? Wait a second. Help me to visualize this. What does a hoochie mama look like? What kind of things does she wear that How would I know if I'm walking down the street and I see someone that you would describe as a hoochie mama? What would that person look like?
I'm just saying the way she usually wear her clothes, Your Honor.
Well, you just told me that's a hoochie mama outfit. What about it? Her breasts are not coming out?
All I'm saying is when I confronted her about the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend that she was messing around with, she went ballistic. She took my family heirloom and she threw it against the wall. And all I'm seeking is $2,500 in damages for that.
All right. Now, let me understand what happened on that day in question.
Yes.
You went in, and what did you say to her?
I asked her about the ex-boyfriend that she had in the house. Were you having sex with him?
And what did she say?
She said, you must be crazy. And she got angry, and she threw my family heirloom against the wall.
All right. Let me just ask you, Ms. Zion. It's true that he accused you of what? Sex with your ex-boyfriend, right?
Yes, he did accuse me about that.
And then you said, are you crazy, right?
I did say that.
All right, then what happened next?
After I said that, he got loud. Like, you don't gotta lie, you don't gotta lie. You know, start going off at me about me cheating on him. And I told him, no, I never cheated on you. So he came up in my face, yelling at me, spitting at me while he
never yelled at you.
Wait a second, don't be, Ms. Zion, do not be like getting down, looking at him, and going, no, no, no. You know, just keep your eyes up here, please.
See what the attitude's coming at?
Just keep your eyes up here. And you, sir, I don't want to hear any more from you until it's time, and it's not time right now. You said you weren't having sex with your ex-boyfriend.
I was not.
And then he was up in your face.
Yes.
How close?
He was up in my face, like this close to me, yelling at me, and while he's yelling at me, he's spitting at me. So I pushed him back. I pushed him back off me because he was invading my space. And then I saw his hand go back at me. So when I saw that, I picked up the piece and I threw it. And I tried to hit him, but it missed.
You tried to hit him, right?
I did try to hit him.
Because?
Because he was about to strike me. He has hit me before.
I've never...
And when was the last occasion he hit you?
It was about 3 months ago.
And did you report that to the police?
No, I did not.
Is there a reason you didn't make a police report?
Because he begged me not to call the police.
And
He told me he would never hit me
didn't.
again.
Did you go to the doctor?
No, I did not.
All right, the court is ready to rule.
Judge Allred's verdict.
It does not appear to be disputed that plaintiff did get up in her face, as she says, and defendant says that, in fact, he even spit at her. But even if I accept that he spit, I don't consider that an assault. I don't consider that sufficient reason that you would then, and you admitted this, pushed him back. Pushed him, you touched him,
Yes,
and then you picked up this and threw it, you say, in self-defense. Now, how throwing a sake set at the wall could possibly help to defend yourself, I don't know. But the fact that you touched him first tells me that you were not, in fact, acting in self-defense. You were really the aggressor, and so therefore I am going to find judgment for plaintiff.
Judge Allred has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The